All right, we are live again after a long time. I know you missed us last week on episode of the Italian football, but we had so much. We had the Champions League, Europa League. Also, Napoli played on Thursday night, Friday, so we kind of wait. And Milan played on a Saturday early morning. So we decided let's just do two rounds in 1 week, and here we are for the full episode of Italian football. If you thought that we just did three and we are going away, we aren't. We are obviously going to do it every week. So great to have you guys, Swarnim, Chintan, Yogesh. Yogesh and Chintan are back after the first episode. Feels great. So let's go to the club that's form at the moment, and the star striker Piotek is on fire. Let's go to Chintan. And Chintan, tell us about the victory this weekend and also from the last one where Milan beat Atlanta.
Ah, man, it's completely different. The whole energy around the club right now and with the fans, absolutely positive. We go in every game thinking, yes, we can win. Atlanta, very difficult, especially at their home. But, there's so much positivity around the club right now, especially with the fans and how the team is gelling and playing. It was absolutely amazing. And the result shows, the team never gave up, came back stronger. We had a weak start, but we stuck in there and got back and got all 3 points, which is absolutely amazing. Though, usually Milan tend to they form, they kind of dip when you play against a smaller team, which tends to sit back. But again, the victory on Friday night, Saturday early morning shows that, we are here for the race and we want the Champions League spot.
Wow, Milan are in form, and the striker has Piotek is the name that's on everyone's mind.
Absolutely.
Also on every and let's go to Swarnim now. Swarnim, Juventus beat Sassuolo last weekend. This weekend they just managed a win, but a win is a win, and 3 points it is. So Paulo Dybala with the goal. Um, uh, and 13 points clear at the top, isn't it?
Yeah.
So so the league for Juventus is not much of a talking there. Any moments from the game that you would like to share, Swarnim?
Well, as a fan, I wouldn't want to see Juve play like we have been playing since since uh, since a couple of months now. But yes, like you said, a win is a win, and it's good to be back on winning side of the game.
So two wins out of two, and let's go now to Yogesh. Hi Yogesh,
Hey
how is
man,
it? Good to be back. Good to see you after the first episode. But a bit of mixed feelings there. Last week Napoli held to a draw, a
yep,
nil-nil draw, and this week a 4-0 thumping of Parma.
yep.
13 points gap, isn't it, at the top now? What is the realist objective from here for Napoli towards the end of the season now?
So hope eternal springs for the Scudetto. Let's see if luck has anything in store for us. But I'm like, as everyone has been saying around the club, I'm like, Europa League is our genuine target, and unlike previous years, the club is focusing all its energy and tactical now on that head. I'm like, we got a very nice win over Zurich over the two legs, and we have a pretty difficult Salzburg tie coming up. So
Hmm.
let's see what happens. Before that, we have to welcome Juventus at San Paulo, so it'll be a fun week.
Absolutely, and I think since Marek Hamsik announced that he's leaving, we haven't done an episode, Yogesh.
Yep.
So it's a good time to talk about him now. Okay, share your thoughts on the player. I know he's been there at a long time, and did you expect him going to China? By the way.
So there were very strong rumors of him leaving in the summer. And I genuinely felt at that time that he might leave at that time. But Ancelotti came in. They had some chat, and he hung around. And in this season, Hamsik has been at Napoli for 12 years. He's an idol for everyone, and he wrote a very emotional letter. I genuinely had felt so bad. I feel personally attached to that guy as a not only as a player but as a person. So nothing more that we can ask from him. He has been an honest servant for Napoli all these years, and wish him all the best wherever he goes. And I'm pretty sure one day he'll definitely come back and we'll have him in our dressing room in another road, but definitely.
Well, um, let's go on. We don't have a Roma fan here, but we have seen what Roma did this weekend, and also don't have an Inter fan here, but we also know what happened last night and the VAR controversy. So let's go one by one. And since Milan are so close to Roma and are not dropping, let's go to Chintan. Chintan, did you expect that 95th minute goal, by the way, or you were sure that they were going to drop points there?
No, to be honest, I didn't think Roma would drop points, because I thought would be easy for them, a decent, comfortable win. But we 95th minute, there was 2-2, so I really thought it's done and dusted. But the goal came out of they were attacking, it did not came out of nowhere. But they didn't give up, and it was unfortunate for us because I was, you don't have any hopes, okay, and then it turns out to be like a 2-2, and I was like, okay, there it is, the game is over and they're gonna drop points and we're gonna just move away from Roma, but they came back in the end. But yeah, technically I did expect them to win, but not like they won, not like this. I thought they have a decently comfortable win,
Hmm.
but not like this.
So it's all up for grabs. The fourth place and the third place, which reminds me of Inter Milan, who people were. We have this group on WhatsApp, isn't it now? And we were say all discussing of how Inter might fuck up the third place. So Yogesh, can you describe that 3-3 draw? Inter versus Fiorentina last night and the penalty decision, the VAR decision. What do you feel?
So it was a very end-to-end stuff. I'm like 15 seconds you get a goal, and 15 seconds remaining you again get a goal, and I'm like you had goals sprinkled throughout the match. I guess the penalty that was awarded against Inter in the last minute, I'm like it was pretty harsh, and I generally feel I'm like in the age of VAR, a referee should have done better. But I'm like Fiorentina also were harshly awarded a penalty. So I'm like, the ref kind of squared off over there, giving a penalty to each side. But I'm like, it's pretty much unacceptable that at this level with this technology, such decisions are still happening. Inter didn't look under any Icardi trauma as such. I'm like, the entire team looked energized and they were playing with a decent approach. And I'm like, they were attacking throughout the game. I'm like, they deserve the win, but these things happen.
Well, that means that Inter now are just 2 points above Milan, and we have the Milan derby coming soon. So that spices things up a bit. But what doesn't is that we missed a Champions League tie, and the Juventus kind of lost that tie. And I know Swarnim, I can't promise you that we won't discuss it. But yeah, it's just the first 90 minutes of a two-legged tie. So
Mhm.
where did it go wrong? And was Juventus a bit conservative in the later moments of the game, thinking they would take a back to Turin?
Well, if you ask me where did it go wrong, it went wrong from the first minute. Maybe if I have to be very optimistic, I'll say we started the second half in a bit better fashion. But well, since the Morata disallowed goal, it was all Atletico. Let's not focus too much on the way we've been playing in the league, because it's very clear that to win the league for you is not the priority. With all due respect to other teams in the league, to win the league for you is bit I won't say easy, yeah, but
Yeah.
it's not what the team is built for. And the way we've been playing now, I'd rather lose to Napoli and win Atletico. But before Yogesh gets all happy, we'll talk about it next week, right, Yogesh?
So Yogesh, if you've replied in the live chat. There's first Napoli fan I saw. Hmm.
Sorry.
Also, no. There's a comment in the live chat that says first Napoli fan I saw. So
Ah,
great, isn't it? So great, isn't it, that we are doing an episode here? And guys, Yogesh, Napoli 4-0. We spoke about that as well, and we spoke about the targets as well. What can you describe? What can you tell us more about your opponents in the Europa League and fancy any win there over the two legs?
So FC Salzburg has been in news for quite some time. I'm like they have the top scorer for Europa League in their team, and they have been scoring goals at will. In the last 32 round, I'm like they lost their first match of the entire season across all competitions against Club Brugge. They lost it 2-1, but I'm like 2-1 losing away. It gets pretty difficult. But they came home in their arena. I'm like they just smashed them 4-0, and they have been scoring goals like crazy. I'm like you just see some of their goals. I'm like it's a really top class goals. I'm like I don't expect it to be a very easy ride for us. The only positive thing is Austria is very close by to Italy, so I'm like the journey won't be too that long. That's the
Mhm.
only positive that I have right now.
Great. So, Chintan, if you remember, we were talking about Higuain and now we are talking about PureTech. Two opposite poles, isn't it? A negative pole and a positive. And the what more has improved in the Milan side, and how good has Gattuso been in all these weeks?
Basic, I think the massive difference, you forget the talent and what the massive difference has been the positivity. With the Higuain saga going on, Higuain's body language, it didn't seem like he wanted to be in Milan. He was there, and made a big difference. The whole thing was a bit of a drab. He didn't want to be there, and he was there. It was kind of a difficult situation for us fans, seeing that he's a talented player, but he couldn't perform. With him moving on, the whole dressing room got, you can call it a closure. The whole chapter was over. We got a new striker, fresh face, ready to prove himself, already doing a lot in the league just for 6 months. So he brought in a lot of positive energy, and
Hmm.
what happens with youth. They're ready to give in what he wants to prove himself at the club. And of course, Gattuso plays a big role. He's like he helps to push. Probably teaches them what the value, the worth jersey is. Like when you wear a Milan jersey, it means something. And who better than Gattuso to teach that to all the players? I guess
Yeah.
is that positive impact, I guess, which Gattuso had on the players, and you can see the results right in front of us.
Also, you don't go anywhere. We have the Coppa Italia tomorrow.
Oh,
Chance where Milan can win silverware this season. So yeah, how it's a derby, and your thoughts on the game, by the way, and do you see this being an easy game for Milan now that you're not in form?
no, yeah. See, Lazio is always going to be a tricky draw. Like it is won't be easy, but I guess the way the team is playing, I can say we can win any matches. Like we in a positive run right now. I can always I can see my team winning. So to be very honest, I do see Milan winning the Coppa Italia. Should be one of the targets. But right now, top four is an absolute priority because everything depends on it. But we are definitely going for that silverware. And I do see Milan going all the way and winning it.
Hmm. Yogesh, Hamsik's leaving, and there are. What would be the plan now in the transfer window? Now that you leave, you've lost a leader in the squad. What more can be done in the window now?
Uh, so we are pretty fortunate to have a lot of leaders in the room, so to speak. I'm like there's Koulibaly who has been around for some time. There's Callejon, there's Raul Albiol, there's the Neapolitan Lorenzo Insigne himself, and I'm like there are guys around. I'm like who can be the bandiera for the team, and I'm like in the transfer window. I'm like Ancelotti now has seen the squad. I'm like inside out. I'm like there are already some rumors of picking up a midfielder and a direct attacking winger in the coming transfer window. There are some players whose names are being thrown around like Harving Lozano, Nicolo Barella from Cagliari is also up there. And like recently, I just read up yesterday that Oscar is wanting to leave from China and come back to Europe. And like maybe his agent might also offer him to clubs around Europe. So that's also a possibility. And like there's James Rodriguez link. Not sure how true it is in there. Let's see him. Like there's some time to go before the transfer window. Like the crucial end of the season is coming up.
Well, great. Swarnim, Um, Napoli awaits next week, and that's 1 versus 2. Although the point gap is 13 points, not unlike last time when they got themselves level, and then everyone kind of had their hopes high that Napoli would finally beat Juve to the Serie A. But there's a Champions League tie next week in the midweek after the Napoli game. So what exactly will be the priority? This or the game against Atleti?
See, if we talk about Juve, it's a club that's built to win. If it even says in their motto, to win is not important, it's the only thing that matters. So whenever any player or any coach puts on Juve shirt,
Hmm.
it's their not duty to win. And of course, when we play a team that has been a historic rival, like Napoli,
Hmm.
guys, can you hear me
Yeah,
clearly?
we can.
Okay. Okay, when we play a historic rival like Napoli, it's always good to have the result in our back. At least we can shut them up for a week, right, Yogesh?
Yogesh, yes,
Sorry.
Yogesh.
So
Yeah.
so right now in entire Europe, I'm like top 5 leagues. I'm like only Borussia Dortmund and Napoli are unbeaten this season in all competitions. And very coincidentally, I'm like our last loss at home at San Paulo came on March 13th last season against AS Roma, and that is where I felt I'm like we lost a bit of steam on Square. And again, exactly 365 days again, I'm like Juventus is coming to visit us. So I'm like it's a bit of coincidence. You might be focused on Atletico, so let's get a good scalp and have something to poke at them.
Yeah, like I was saying, to take Napoli for granted would be a stupid mistake. But to be honest, I see the match finishing as a draw. The way you have been playing, and the
Hmm.
way Napoli have been playing. So I see it could be a draw, but again, it would be a fun match. And
All
it
right.
would be my pleasure to repeat the last season's record breaking for Yogesh.
Well, Yogesh, don't go anywhere. Here is a question: how many players do you guys think will see next season? Again, a question on live chat. Koulibaly or Allen? If you had to choose one player, who would it be?
I'll be heartbroken if either of Koulibaly or Allen leaves, but I'm like speaking from an economical point of view, I'm like, and a play from a technical point of view and an economical point of view, I'm like it would be better if Allen left because it's much easier to get good midfielders around, so to speak. But I'm like getting center backs like Koulibaly is like nearly impossible. You only have to get them young and watch them mature at your club. So it takes a lot of time and efforts to make a Koulibaly. Maybe Allen leaves, but I'm not very sure. And I'm like everyone knows how Aurelio De Laurentiis is. I'm like he won't go at the market rate for these players. I'm like he'll definitely have a good kitting. I'm like you have to put in enough money. And as in the Hamsik transfer, it happened. I'm like everything was going good, and then I'm like Dalian FC wanted to change the payment method, and immediately I'm like Napoli sent out a tweet. I'm like the deal is off. It's not going through at the moment. So I'm like it's a token for everyone can that Napoli cannot be taken very easily on consignments, and we deal on very terms.
Well, I hope the it's a weekend of derbies. It's a weekend of big matches, and I hope Napoli can reduce the gap to 10 and make sure that the 365-day run goes continues for a long time. So, Arnim, you have other things to worry about in the midweek after that, but let's first ask Chintan. Lazio tomorrow, and they are 7 points drift in the league, so that's not a worry. But let's talk about the Milan starting lineup. All 90s kids starting versus Empoli. A young Milan side, hungry. How? When was the last time you were more excited for a Milan game before? Like I've seen a lot of message tweets and saying that we are all excited to see this new look Milan side. So yeah.
Yeah, it's actually been a very long time. We look forward to the weekends. Looking forward to a Milan game with positive, thinking and like, yeah, we can win the game. We don't It's been a very long time, to be honest, and these young kids have in, there's this group of players. There's this unity. You can see they're all playing for each other. They're all playing for the jersey they're wearing. They're all playing for Gattuso. You can see it, and there's something. There's something which is clicking with all of them. And you could see that everyone's running to celebrate, and there's positive. And there's this. What Gattuso has brought is this kind of unity between players. And Piontek is a new guy. He's a new kid who just joined Milan in December. But you see how well he's gelled in with the team. And he's been mighty important for us. So this has been a completely different look for us. We've waited a long time, and we deserve this as fans. We've waited a very long time for this, and hopefully this is a start of something special.
Mm-hmm. Swarnim, 3-2 it's still time before Juve play the second leg, but what realistically do you think should be the lineup then, and what are you expecting a close contest? Until and unless, I know you don't mind if you all go through, obviously, but what should be the changes in the second leg, and what should be the changes up in the second leg, considering what you all did in the first leg?
See, I wouldn't go forward to pick a starting line because that's the job to be done by Allegri. But what I would change in the team is to introduce, maybe ask them to play football, not just try to kill 90 minutes. If you cannot play the team like Atletico and just try to score goals on their mistake, Juve has to take the initiative for the match. We've been seeing this for months now. We just have to depend on opponent's mistake to score goals. Even even yesterday when we won the match, I wouldn't say Juve created that match. Yes, the move was a decent enough move, but the goal was a mistake from Haaland. So I would want Juve to take initiative for the match, play the way Juve is able to play. They have the players, they have the ability, they have the right coach. I don't know what's wrong. Just I would wish the team starts to play like Juve, not play like a team that's just there in the tournament.
Okay, Yogesh, we have to discuss this at length because everyone is saying that the VAR would make a difference. The VAR would make a difference. But last night and Chintan, I'm going to come to you as well after this. So, Inter chief Marotta was furious. Spalletti was fuming,
Yeah.
and considering the race for the top four is heating up, especially the third and the fourth spot. What exactly went wrong last night, and how will things improve? Like, this is technology that's being used in a wrong way, and such dubious decisions tend to cause a lot of frustration. So where did it go wrong?
So at the moment, it looks like VAR needs its VAR review again. Like, so that's the situation we are in right now. And like there's some what can I say? I'm like, it's a classic Italian bureaucracy problem, I guess. I'm like, the rules are not pretty clear. I'm like, there's it's still hazy. I'm like, and it's open for interpretation. And when it's open for human interpretation, and like these errors can definitely crop up. I'm like, there's the handball rule. I'm like, whether it's intentional or it's unintentional. I'm like, there are talks of it being revoked the next year from next season onwards. I'm like, if it touches your hand, it's whether it's intentional or unintentional, it's a foul. I'm like, so there are some talks, and it has its pros and cons. But honestly, I guess I'm like, I don't see this dubious calls going away very soon enough. I hope that I'm proven wrong, but I'm like, there's so much no clarity over what is a foul, what is not a foul, when you should take a VAR, and it's very difficult for fans in the stadium. Like, at least on TV, I'm like, you can see what the VAR decision is being taken, but for people going inside the stadium, I'm like, it's absolutely, I'm like, madness. I'm like, you're waiting in between. I'm like, you have scored a goal, you're already cheering for your team, and then it gets revoked back. So it gets very frustrating, and I don't see it going out very soon enough.
Chintan, Spalletti said that it hit the last call, especially in the dying moments. The ball hit the chest, and the referee was clearly there, but still They reviewed, they gave it as a penalty. You know, so your thoughts on that?
Uh, yeah, I think as Yogesh said, there are no clear lines, there are no clear rules for certain things. But what he said that this has been happening across. This sadly this has been a bad weekend for VAR, because you saw the penalty which Real Madrid got. Which was absolutely horrendous. There was no penalty. There was a horrible decision, and that of course Inter were very unlucky, because that was like there are human errors, and these are, you have to consider a few things. It hit the chest, it wasn't meant for the arm, and it was kind of unfortunate. But as Yogesh said, it's going to take time to streamline a few things, because till there are new, like, we need a certain clarity for a few things. Till that time, I guess this is going to be a point of discussion every time.
True, true that some decisions that didn't turn out to be what they were. But Yogesh, there's a question for you on live chat. Will Ospina stay at Milan permanently?
Oh wow! So Ospina was apparently not very happy at being left out of games since Met has been back. But Ancelotti reassured him that he's gonna stay. I'm like, regardless of how many starts he catches up for the season, and it would be, I guess, a pretty awkward situation right now because Ospina is technically the second goalkeeper, and he gets paid more than Meret, who is the first choice keeper. So I'm like, some things would have to be streamlined in the upcoming market session, but most probably he'll be staying over here.
Chintan, we have a question for you, and that is: will Milan finish above Inter in third, or will Milan finish above Inter? Yeah.
I think we had this discussion last time when I was on the show, that I was pretty sure that we will go for a third spot. Derby is everything now for us.
Yeah.
Derby is like a Champions League final. We go for that spot, and plus it's a derby. It's bragging rights of the city. To be very fair, Inter are, you can't say turmoil, but the whole Icardi situation has been going on. They've
Oh
been,
yes.
yeah, so
Oh
yeah,
yes.
it's been a hot discussion. So probably a little unrest in the team with the captainship changing. The captain, the best striker, one of the best strikers in the league. Their best player being still unsettled. Where Milan is completely in another place. Positivity, going through a good phase. So the way thing goes, and if we fight them for the derby, if we get a win against them, then I think that'll give us a lot of confidence to finish third, because we have played. Still have to play a lot of teams above them. They have to play. I think all the top four teams. So I guess we have that slight advantage. We finished Napoli. We have Juventus left, but I think we might finish above Inter Milan.
Yogesh, we are coming to you now, and there's a question here. Uh, you know, for Napoli now, that is Europa only the target, and like, what more can be done to get out of the squad? Like, how will you assess Ancelotti's season this so far, and what more can you expect?
So I'm expecting, I'm like, with the recent two draws against Torino, and before that, I'm like, those were like 4 points left on the table. Had we gotten that, I'm like, we would have been at -9 from Juventus, and with a win at San Paulo, it would have been -6. Would have been very interesting for the entire league to see what's coming up. Uh,
Swarnim's given a smirk there, and yeah, go on.
so I'm like, I guess I'm like, more than Juventus, I'm like, Napoli shot them in their own legs, but I'm like, you can't complain really that much. I'm like, because I'm like, the players have been performing really well. I'm like, I cannot pinpoint any one guy who hasn't been up to the task. I'm like, they give their all. I'm like, and they're just games. I'm like, we have to get that consistency. I'm like, Ancelotti is smart enough. He has done this 1,000 times before. I'm like, there needs to be some tweaks. I'm like, you have to, like, we still play beautiful football. I'm like, it's not like, I'm like, the Sari ball has completely gone out of this Napoli team. We still play beautiful football. I'm like, the only thing that's missing is getting those ugly 1-0 wins. I'm like, if we manage to get those in, I'm like, those 3 points add up, and maybe I'm like, that's what the single most improvement that the Napoli needs right now.
All right, guys. There was a mention of Sari ball, and being a host of a channel, I would like to bring that from last night because I exhausted my popcorn seeing that incident. Although I agree that it was disrespectful, but there are different takes to that situation where the goalkeeper said that he didn't want to come off because he wasn't injured. Then, uh, Sari was fuming. You could see the reaction. He slammed a hook and he just left. And the commentator said that he's leaving the job. So, the coach, you've seen that. Have you seen the incident, by the way?
I didn't see the live match, but I saw on the video, and it was up. If it was up to me, Kepa would never ever play for my team. It
Hmm.
doesn't matter if you don't understand the reason why the coach is changing you.
Hmm.
If you know it, if you don't know it, if you agree, if you don't agree, get the hell out of there. It's
Hmm.
the coach's job to do it. And
Hmm.
if you cannot follow the coach, okay, it happens. The player don't like the coach. Okay, whatever. But you are there to do a job. If you can't do it, your job, you might as well leave the team. If I was the manager or something in Chelsea, Kepa wouldn't even touch the training facilities, let alone start a match.
All right.
Can
Yeah.
I add to this?
Yeah. So, yeah. Chintan. And
See, I don't. Doesn't matter what the reason is. To be very honest,
Okay.
he's your boss. Okay,
Yeah.
it's a match going on. It's a cup final. There are a lot of people seeing. There should be certain decorum to certain things. Certain things have to be followed. I am surprised why the captain did not get involved, or
Hmm.
probably David Luiz not conveying the message to the staff out there that he is fine, he can continue. It was a big scene, and to be honest, it turned out to be a joke for other clubs. It's like a joke. It's the manager being disrespected. So to be honest, doesn't matter what the reason is. As Swarnim said, for me, he would never play for the club again.
I
Yogesh.
would let him play for any club if he behaves like that.
Well,
He can
Yogesh,
play as he
yeah,
wants.
the manager in the picture was Sari, and
Mhm.
Sari wanted him off. Also, do you think Sari could have any other manager, Conte or Simeone, would have reacted in the same manner? And what would have been would it be like Sari could have kept his and made sure that the full time whistle was off, and then he came and then he spoke to him. Do you think Sari overreacted there?
I
No.
don't. I definitely don't think I'm like Sari overreacted. He has every right to get furious, and like he was communicated by doctors who just came off the field. He's injured, and entire extra time he was playing injured, and I'm like the goalkeeper that he was sending off was ex Man City. He had played with those guys, so there might be a technical angle as well. I'm like he knew the guys who were going to take the penalty kick, and like and regardless of that, I'm like your coach has called you off, you gotta get off. I'm like, there's no ifs and but, or you don't agree or disagree with that decision. I'm like, that's not to be taken on the field. I'm like, it's the coach's job. And I guess I'm like a very uncharacteristically, I'm like Chelsea handled the situation pretty well after that, because I guess I'm like Kepa immediately released a statement on social media that it was a big misunderstanding. He didn't know Sari was doing it for a technical reason, not that for like his medical treatment. I'm like, and Sari also said, yeah, it was a big misunderstanding. I'm like, they handle it pretty well, but I'm not sure whether Sari did smack him, because at Napoli, I'm like many a times I'm like after games I'm like Sari used to just skip the post match press briefings. I'm like, because he is so involved with the game and he's so passionate. He lives through every moment. I'm like, and he gets very temperamental at times. I'm like, he has to get his space, and I
I
don't
would
think so. He
imagine, actually,
overreacted.
I would love to see if this happens to Gattuso. I think,
Yeah.
hey man,
We'll have some rolling
That
bones for
would
sure.
squash the player's ball straight on the field.
yeah, I think
Yeah.
drag him out of the field for sure. Drag him out
Wow,
of the field and see.
absolutely.
Serie would turn into WWE then.
You do not want to mess with these gladiators, these Italian gladiators. Also, Yogesh, also anyone who would like to answer, has Sari lost the dressing room? Because Chintan pointed out there that none of the players conveyed the message to Kepa of what Sari wanted. So, and seeing the results in the previous weeks, also I don't, there's a bit of another angle to that because they kind of executed the plan well last night. They had Sari actually outclassed Pep in the tactical department only for those penalties. And, as Yogesh said, Caballero is an ex-City guy. If he would have been there, then there might have been a different result. So has Sari lost the dressing room?
I think, to be honest, I don't think it's not about the dressing room. I don't think the players are adjusting to the tactics what he wants to convey. You saw how he was playing at Napoli. So I don't think the players are of that characteristic, you can put it that way, who probably are suited for Sari ball. And I don't think he's lost the dressing room, because what we saw last night was a very clinical performance, was a very decent performance. I was actually rooting for Chelsea to win the game. But I guess, but when you see incidents like these, you think there is something off. They wouldn't mind Sari going, because, as I said, why was there no communication? As David Luiz did go talk to Kepa, but why was there no communication? Even Zola was shouting, why aren't you coming off? So
Yeah.
there seems to be something wrong, which is not happening. Probably the senior players not taking the responsibility.
Mm.
I would love to see him sit there, because we know what he can do.
Mm.
And
Yes.
like three previous managers have proven him like there's something very deeply wrong within the Chelsea dressing room. So I'm not pretty much sure. I'm like it's not a question whether Sari has the dressing room with him or not. I'm like he's the coach. I'm like until and unless he gets sacked, you gotta follow him. I'm like there are times when you don't agree with your coach, even as a person. I'm like it's not necessary you agree with each and every decision, but I'm like you gotta stick to it. You gotta do your job. And considering the upcoming session ban on Chelsea, I'm like, if they sack Sari, I don't know. I'm like, what are they are going to be aiming for? I'm like, I'm not sure.
Goose Hiddink. Goose Hiddink is the man who
Yeah, but
always.
we've seen before, Rafa Benitez was not never really close to his team, but we saw what he did at Liverpool and in Valencia before. And I
Absolutely.
read Gerrard's autobiography, and he said he's never been the kind who would come and talk to players. So you don't have to like your manager.
Yeah.
He's doing his job. You
Yeah.
as players need to do what he wants you to do. That's it.
So that's Sari ball, and that's Sari, by the way. And we discussed Sari and not an EPL team. Since Yogesh is here, since a Napoli fan is here, and there's a trending topic for Sari. Also, Swarnim, I need a broader perspective on this question because it's with the wages, with the salaries, with the time that we are in the 21st century. Do you think player power it is going the way forward? Have has the player become more powerful than a manager? Does a player ranting or becoming grumpy get the manager sacked?
I don't think so. It's just media talk because at the end of the day, it's the coach who decides which player plays, which player doesn't. And imagine if you are the best player in the world and you don't play the season. What happens the next season? You don't get clubs who are going to pay you good salaries. Still, I'd say it's a balance. It wouldn't be. I wouldn't call the coaches too powerful, or I wouldn't call the players too powerful. It's a balance as it should be, and it should be the way football should stay like.
Hmm. Well, guys, anything that you would like to add
Yeah,
towards?
actually,
Yeah.
I have a question for Swarnim. Actually, I've been wanting to ask this to a UA fan. Swarnim, do you think just winning the league and not winning the Champions League, would you consider that as a successful season?
Uh, can I go half failure and half
Yeah, because
successful?
see the way, to be very honest, as you said, you being a very true, honest fan, you said that Juventus have been kind of struggling. They've been
Hmm.
kind of, you can say, a few victories, grinding them out, because the other teams probably are not up to the mark to challenge them as much, and
Hmm.
probably winning the title is a given. Sorry, Yogesh, but I think you should actually hope for a reversal. But just winning the league title, do you think that would be a successful season and not getting kicked out of Copa in Feb? Very scary against Atletico Madrid. So if you get kicked out in Feb from two competitions, just winning the league, is it a successful season?
I wouldn't call it a successful season, but I wouldn't call it a complete failure as well. And if that's a big if that happens, I don't see Allegri staying past from the next season. if that happens again.
There you have it. Chelsea have a new coach.
If we go out at the quarterfinal, even semi-finals, that's fine. But to go out at round of 16, no, no, no.
Yeah.
So, so Yogesh, let's get a bit of get the Italian thing back, and Napoli are second, which by the way Ancelotti is a brilliant manager. There's no doubt about that. But how long do you think Napoli is in transition at the moment, and how many years more before they challenge, or what needs to happen before they challenge?
Yeah, definitely. I'm like last season. I'm like it was pretty much clear how we played in Champions League and Copa. I'm like all energies for the club from the management down to the players. Everyone's focus was on the Scudetto. We came very close. I'm like very tantalizingly close. No one ever in the last 8 years has came this close. I'm like, and we unforeseen circumstances, bad things happen. I'm like, hadn't Juventus, Gonzalo Higuain of all people had scored that goal at San Siro against Inter. I'm like, things might have been very different. I'm like, those are like very bad memories. I'm like, so definitely, I'm like, Sari went away. I'm like, Hamsik was also going out. I'm like, in summer, dragged on till winter. Definitely, I'm like, oh, this has been a season of transition. But considering for a transitional season, I'm like, the players have been pretty much. I'm like, the performance of the team has been way above expectations. I'm like, I have read many blogs. I'm like, in summer who was saying, I'm like, Napoli would struggle to finish in the top four. I'm like, and I don't think that was any case. That was true beyond the fourth week of the season. So I'm like, the performance has been good. Like as I said previously, I'm like, Napoli got to learn how to grind out 1-0 wins.
Yeah.
That's
Hmm.
the way forward.
So, guys, before we go, and we just let's have a look at the weekend fixtures, but let's also just get your predictions on the games that are coming up in the and in the weekend. Also, the obviously the big one, Juventus versus Napoli. Let's go to Chintan first, and Chintan Coppa Italia is tomorrow. What are
Ah, yeah, it's a very tricky tie. Like as a fan, I'm very hopeful, and Lazio are in a bit of a crisis themselves. They have a lot of injury crisis, but I do see a Milan 2-0 victory tomorrow.
Okay, or before we go anywhere further, Lazio also play Roma this the weekend, so that's another derby. So, with the injuries, do you think Roma still get the 3 points, or can Lazio do Milan a favor there?
No, the thing is, Roma are kind of unpredictable too. Defensively, they've been weak defensively. Ideally, like I think it would be a score draw, high scoring draw, like a 2-2 or something. Like hope for a Lazio victory, but I think it'll be a high scoring, like a 2-2 or a 3-3 draw.
And now on to the big game from the weekend, Napoli versus Juventus. Let's go with you first, Yogesh.
Very interesting. So I'm expecting a 3-0 win. I'm like with Ronaldo fouling Arik Milik. Arik Milik again firing in a free kick, beautiful left-footed free kick, and I'm like Juventus would be so much distracted by the Atletico game that I'm like they lose their way. Allegri would set up his team for going out for a draw in the first half, 2-0 down at halftime. Then he puts back Bernadeschi or someone on, and I guess I'm like Arik Milik, Insigne, and Koulibaly again are going to be on that score sheet.
Well, that was a Napoli fan, and yeah,
Right.
yes, your name.
I see. Do you want me to answer what I really think, or do you want me to respond to Yogesh?
Both the things would be fine. First the response, and then your answer.
See, if I have to respond to Yogesh, even if Napoli win 3-0, doesn't change anything, right? And being back to what I really think, I see it's going to be a 1-1 or 2-2 draw.
I'm like it changes one thing. We'll have a huge smile until the beginning of the next season, I guess.
It might be a big thing because it'll end Juventus' unbeaten run.
Oh yes, invincible. Guys, do you think Juve is going the season invincible?
Uh,
Me,
nah, I don't think so. The way
Nah.
they're playing currently, they will win the league, but the way they're playing currently, I think someone might just
Will Milan be the team or will Napoli be the team? All will end.
The way
Uh,
Juventus are playing, I guess Atlanta or Sampdoria might be that team as well.
We already played at
That's Yogesh has taken out all his the frustration from work today.
Okay,
But yeah.
it seems Yogesh has gone rogue on us.
So one more thing, Inter are away to Cagliari, and what better than to ask a Milan fan who would be expecting a drop in points there? Chintan, do you expect an Inter win, or will it be a nil or a 1-1?
no, I think Inter will win it because they played quite decent last night also. And Fiorentina team is not an easy team to play against. I don't see Inter dropping points, and I think Derby would till the Derby. I think we have 2 games till the Derby, and I think it's going to be neck to neck. Till I don't see it change till the Derby, and probably after the Derby we'll go above them.
Also, one more thing, like I've got a question here, not on live chat, but they're saying you have discussed the top six teams. Just tell us the relegation teams as well. Who do you think will get relegated?
Uh,
Kiev, Frosinone, and Bologna definitely.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, for sure. I think Kiev or Frosinone and Bologna should be the ones.
For me, Chievo, Frosinone, and I believe Bologna might just save themselves. It could be Spal.
Spal. Oh, Spal. Okay. Okay,
Could be.
that's your answer there, and fabulous episode. A lot of discussions, especially. Don't think we discussed EPL there. We discussed Sari, and we discussed Kappa. And we also discussed a lot of things. Make sure that you tune in next week as well. This week is also spiced up. Milan, Lazio in the Coppa Italia, Napoli versus Juventus in the Serie A, and don't forget Lazio versus Roma also in the Serie A. Also, Milan play Sassuolo? Milan play Sassuolo,
Yeah.
considering the form that they are in. Chintan, any upsets coming up? 3-0, 4-0, 5-0, 6-0, how much?
We're playing at San Siro, so I see a 2-0 victory, and hopefully two by Piontek.
Yeah. The name that, once I opened Footmob and the first goal, Pure Tech. Pure So great episode there once again. And once more, a great episode from everyone. Some good analysis. I hope Juventus can turn that around because I wouldn't want a Simeone holding his jocks again. And
I don't think he's currently on the pitch. What I've been reading about, he might be suspended.
yeah,
Yeah.
he is. I think there's an article here that he is charged. I think he is. Just
Mhm.
let me
I think
confirm.
it's unfair. The charge was quite unfair.
Yeah, even Pochettino is charged, but this is the thing. So that's the thing. Athletic boss hit with improper conduct charge by UEFA. Yes. So the disciplinary proceedings have been opened up, and we can confirm that there will be something on this. The case will be dealt with once the dates are confirmed, but he will be charged.
But to be honest, I wish Simeone is there. It would be fun to beat them with their full strength, and it would be fun for the fans to boo the shit out of him.
Yeah. So, guys, once again, thank you so much. 4 episodes of Italian football, zero of Spanish and German so far. We are going to start that, but we have started Italian football, the others, and obviously we discuss EPL. But Chintan, Yogesh, you've been great. We've missed Arjun this episode. It would have been fun discussing a few other games as well. But Monday night 10:30 should be the time when you guys can see another episode of Italian football if everything goes well. If there's a team playing on a Monday night, then we do it on a Tuesday, but we do it on a Monday and a Tuesday. A lot of interesting talks. Also, don't forget to see the Sari part, and also don't forget to see the Juventus banter. A, a small thing that happened, but yeah. So anything that you guys would like to say before going? We are going off in a bit.
Oh,
Yeah,
I
let's
was
try.
Forza Milan and what? Forza Sempre Napoli. Forza Napoli.
Forza
Once again,
Napoli sempre.
Forza.
in the next episode, guys, you will be seeing either me or Yogesh really happy, and the other one. So be prepared for a special treat next week, right?
Whoever, yeah, I'm clearly waiting for the next episode. Two derbies to discuss.
Well, I'm
Also,
a Serie supporter, so Serie will definitely win. Forza
okay,
Calcio.
great, great. So here's your host Prasad signing out with Swarnim, Chintan, and Yogesh. See you next week. Don't forget to subscribe to the Panenka View. Thank you.
Goodbye.